Hey YouTube, today I was actually asked to do an update of my collection by Reptile Boy 91, I believe his name is. I checked out some of his videos and his channel. He's got a really good channel. I will put a link to his channel down in the description. Hopefully I will remember when I post this video. So he did ask me to do an update, so I figured today was a good day because I went out, I bought some crickets to feed the teas. I also, there were some changes. I actually got a good update of new reptile I got, and he's now in my 75 gallon. And my ball python that was in my 75 gallon, I moved temporarily to 20 gallon. And we'll kind of talk about that later. I know it's a little small for him, but what I've been doing lately is anytime he's out and active, because most of the time he's under his rock, just like he is now. You can kind of see his little face poking right there. Anytime he's out and active, I'll just pull him out and let him stretch out, but that's only temporary. He's going to be ended up getting moved probably to this 40 gallon, which is really, in my opinion, a perfect size for a ball python. Especially his size. He's only about 4 feet long, so he's not huge or anything like that, and he's full grown. I've had him since 2008, so but basically, here's what I got. I got a let's see, I don't know if you could see him or her, I'm not sure, but it's back there. It is a water monitor, and he's back under there. I'll pull him out for you guys in a little bit. You can see his face right there. He's honestly super awesome. He's got a super relaxed demeanor. Sometimes might get a little skittish, but he's never even opened his mouth at me or even tail whipped me or anything. He's super mellow. So for now, what I did was, he requires the most humidity, so I moved my humidifier into that tank. He's got UV, a 150 watt light bulb, which might end up having to get bumped up to something a little bit stronger, because his basking spot is only about 118, 120. And then I think this one is 65 watt. But he's got a big old tub of water, which I'm actually probably going to scale it down. I might end up just getting one that's about half the size of that tomorrow, just because he doesn't use it very much. He goes in there, he takes a drink, and then he'll go to the bathroom and he'll get out. So he doesn't hang out in there right now. So until I can get a tank where I can front open and pull it out, much easier to change it out often, because he does go to the bathroom in there like they typically do. I'm going to scale that down, but I got that today, that little dock for him. So if he starts using it more because the dock's there, I'm not going to change it out. I'll just deal with the difficulty of changing it. But if he still doesn't use it, I'll cut something a bit smaller. This way I can raise it out much easier. But obviously he's not going to stay in the 75 for too long. I'm going to build something nice for him. Same with my Tegu. I still have the plans for that. If you've seen any of my other videos, I used to have a big old thing I built here that I planned on doing something, probably getting a green tree monitor with. So I ended up taking that apart, and I'm kind of working on something with that right now. So that's why it's not here. So everything will end up getting moved around. Again, the ball python's going to go in there, Tegu will get a little enclosure, and the monitor. I did actually have a guy who offered me some money for my Tegu, so we'll see what happens. I do like the Tegu a lot, but she's still brumating. I will kind of show you. She's been up actually the last couple of days, so I have high hopes she'll be getting up. You can kind of see she's under here. I don't really want to disturb her, but there she is right there. So again, I don't really want to bug her too much, but she has gotten up the past 2 days for a very short period, just enough to toss everything and trash everything. So I fixed it all back up, but she hasn't been up since. But I have high hopes she'll be getting up soon, probably by the end of this month, I think, hopefully, if not early March. Toward the end of the video, I'm going to pull this guy out just so you guys can see him, but let's get started on tea updates and feeding them. Alright, we'll start with the tea stick mirrors. This guy, or girl actually, I should say, she has not eaten for me in a while, and I'm really hoping she's going to molt soon. However, it's been a while. So hold on 1 second. I'm gonna take this out, put that down, and I got some crickets here. And see, I usually use a vial to catch these guys because it makes my life easier. So usually makes my life easier sometimes to catch them in a vial like this. Let's see these crickets, and I just catch them in there, and then I just dump them in there like that. Again, I kind of doubt this girl's gonna eat. I'm really hoping that she's in just a long pre-molt, so we'll kind of see what happens. I'm gonna try and do. These have been falling on me lately, and I would like to get them to stay back up. They used to stay up on their own, but those days seem numbered. So yeah, there's my Titius stigmurus. Again, I don't think she's gonna eat, so I'm just gonna nice and easy place this back down. There we go. Now it's standing better. You can still see her under there, a little claw. But I'm gonna move on because I really don't expect her to eat. I'll check to see if that cricket's gone later, and if not, I'll just pull it out. But what I do is if my teas are in pre-molt or something like that, I'll offer them a tea, leave it in there for at least a few hours, and then I'll pull it out. So here's my Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, or the GBB. This guy's been doing a lot of webbing lately. He really, once he gets used to his new enclosures, you can see he just webs up like crazy, which is pretty awesome. So it's got a really cool look to it. I actually really like it a lot. So let's give him a nice big cricket. All right, come here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Cricket's running away. Let's see what we can get on video here. My GBB typically has a great feeding response, so I expect good results here on this feed, honestly. Alright, girl. Oh man, I missed it. Oh no. Oh, there he is. She actually ran away from the cricket. I highly doubt she's in pre-molt. I keep calling her she. I did try and sex her molt. It was a little messed up, but it looked female to me. It was really hard to tell. Her abdomen is looking fat, but she molted not too long ago, and she's a little too big to be molting this soon. But it'd be awesome if she did. So we'll see. I'm gonna grab my trash bag over here and pull out what looks like an old cricket or something. So hopefully she doesn't come running out of me. She's very hard to catch. She's ran out of me a couple of times, so. Not a couple of times, one time, but one time too many sometimes. Very surprised. Again, she always has a great feeding response, so if she is in pre-molt, her abdomen is looking pretty swell, I guess. But I'd be surprised if she wasn't pre-molt this early again. That's my GBB. As you can see, enclosure looks pretty cool. I like the way it looks. A lot of greenery, and how she webbed it up I think looks pretty awesome. So she actually did a lot of dirt webbing up here, which I think looks cool. I like when they do that. I like my Pyraminia does that a lot. They're very much known for doing that kind of stuff. So I'm going to just gonna leave her. Again, I'll check up on her later. I'm very surprised if she doesn't eat that cricket, but crazier things have happened. Alright, next up, we got my Brachypelma smithy, or Mexican red knee. I'm just gonna put you guys down for a second, make my life easier. Again, another one of my great feeders. I'm gonna give him some water, but first, I'll toss him in a cricket. Her, I should say. This one is a female. There she goes. And I'm just gonna spray her down. I know a lot of people say not to use misters. I like misters. I make sure I soak substrate, and I usually put it on stream when I'm trying to just raise humidity, but watering and everything like that, I usually Like, this is how I fill their water dishes. I spray it with the stream of water. And if I am going to soak down substrate, I'll just spray it. These guys don't really require very moist substrate. So, I pretty much leave her bone dry. Every once in a blue moon, I'll wet the side, and she usually doesn't really like it. But I'll do it just to raise the humidity, especially if I think she's in pre-molt. Which, again, she molted very recently. So I strongly doubt she's in pre-molt. She's a great eater. Very good looking tea. My first tea, actually. Put her over there. Who's next? Next I'll grab my Selma-Post Arminia. Another great eater of mine. Big Dirt Weber. Actually, this guy, or girl, I think this one's actually a guy. Again, another one I tried to sex that the molt was all chewed up. I really couldn't sex it, but it was looking very male to me. So, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but it looked very male. So, he has always had this tunnel back behind here ever since I put him in here. It was the first thing he did. But then just recently, he actually built up this second tunnel right here, which I think looks pretty cool. So I like that he did that. And you really can't see on the outside very well, but you got a tunnel that goes down here, some sort of chamber down there, and then like a tunnel that leads up on this side. So I like the way it looks. This guy, again, is a very good eater. So I've seen him poke up, which is odd. Usually as soon as he feels some sort of vibrations up there, his feet will either poke up here, or over here. So I'm very surprised to see my really good eaters aren't eating. Again, another recent molt. This one, and this one all molted around the same time, including my MBL 40 shortly after, my P Refinogram shortly after, and my Diversa pieces, and even my pretty much my whole collection other than my T-stick mirrors all molted roughly around the same time. Sometimes you just get these molting seasons. It's pretty awesome. But looks like another one might not eat, so we'll just move on. But this is more of an update video than a feeding video anyway. Just a little bonus because I was already buying food for these guys. Let's see. Another usually good feeder. This one can be hit or miss. But you guys know I remove the lid. This is my my pumpkin patch, Hapalopus species Columbia Klein, the small. So let's see if this one will come out to eat. He's also webbed up a crazy amount lately. No. Yeah, leaf. See, he was just there. Did I scare him? Here he comes. Trying to get out of the light. Don't play dead, Mr. Cricket. Wake up. So you can see the pumpkin patch is right there. It's really hard to see because he just put dirt all up in his webbing, so that's obviously not where the substrate begins. The substrate was about here, and he just pulled up a lot of it and just pulled it all into his webbing. So it looks pretty awesome. I don't know, I've debated on moving him up into something bigger, but I think he seems really happy in there because it was up until very recently where he did all this webbing. He had his own little webbing tunnel. I don't even remember which side it was on. It was basically just a tunnel down the side. And then it became, just recently, a tunnel around 3/4 of the way around. And then all of a sudden, he just webbed up everything. So. My GBB just ate. He just struck across Here he is. Well, that's a good shot of him at least, but it doesn't look like this guy's going to do it on camera. He's probably going to end up doing it inside of one of his tunnel. You can see he's got gorgeous coloration. He's actually starting to really show. He pretty much always had the same patterning. The colors just weren't as vivid, and they're getting just brighter and brighter every molt. So, you'll see. But I think he's backing up, and I think he's going to end up going down and around or something. I'm just going to move on. It's not really a great shot anymore, so I'm just going to cover him. Nice and easy, so I don't spook him so he'll still eat. Moving nice and easy over here, and we'll move on to my Monocentropus balfouri. Scotch Island bluebell one. This guy has done a lot in an enclosure. I want to take the lid off. There we go. So you can actually see the rump right there. This guy, his last molt, like I said, was with everybody else pretty much. They're all around the same time, but this guy really just chewed it up. There was just no way to even tell what the sex was. So I have no idea on this one. Love for it to be a female, obviously, but no way to have no idea. So get out of here. Another cricket. Crickets like to run away. Let's see. Somebody's backing his butt up. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Have not seen this guy out in a while. If I had to guess, I would say around 2.5 inches. That's so cool. I have not seen this guy eat like that. Almost ever, honestly. He's almost always in his burrow and won't come out to eat food. So the fact that he came out to eat looks awesome. He looks gorgeous. His carapace is showing a lot of blue. His legs obviously blue. Abdomen, thighs very white. Guy looks gorgeous. Now I'm gonna put the lid on. I have had this guy run on me as well. He's very skittish. Never given me really much of a threat posture. Yeah, see, as soon as I put the lid on, he got spooked and ran over there. So really cool. Very excited to see that. I'll move on to my last two. Probably just grab both of them right now. We have my Pachystophilma raphonogram. Right there, you can actually see his colors looking nice. So I'll see if that guy will eat. And my A. diversipes, who is usually a good show T because the way he webs up, he's all the way up on the lid, so as soon as you open him, you just get a really good shot of him. Another one that I'm almost positive is the T. Excuse me, a male, not a T. It's obviously a T. Let's get this guy, one of these little ones. Again, I like to grab them with this. Not that I have a problem grabbing them, it's just I find it hard sometimes. I usually end up hurting them real bad, which makes my life difficult. Ooh, I hope you guys saw that. I don't know if I caught that or not, but that guy just nailed that. Cricket, that's awesome. He's a good eater usually. On occasion, he won't eat for me, but when he eats, it's pretty awesome like that. So, again, that's my Pachystophilma raphonogram. Enclosure looks great. Could probably spray him down a little bit, maybe. It's hard to tell if he's good or not. With water, I might spray him down a bit. No, he's probably good. So, again, this guy is actually usually really good eater, as they're known to be. See, pretty much always right on the lid right there. So that's pretty cool. Occasionally it goes down the back tube over there, but he's it's nice that he's pretty much always out. So I will grab him a nice big cricket. Come on, buddy. And I will dump it. Boom! Scared me. Wow. Jumped a little bit. There we go. There's a good shot of this guy. Just annihilated that thing. So the rest of these guys, if they're seeming real hungry later, I know a lot of people pretty much just feed on a schedule, but if I see them out and about and looking like they're hunting, you know, if I see this guy down off of his little hammock up here, or like my P. Raphanogram out walking about, my M. balfouri's legs out. I'll throw a cricket in there because that means they're hungry, you know, and it's time to eat. So I do feed them on a schedule, but I don't mind throwing in an extra cricket if they're telling me or giving me signs that they're ready for more. So that is my collection. I will, let's see. Oh, awesome. So, wow. I guess I spoke too soon, or maybe just giving this guy, this little ledge is just a really good idea, but I'll show you guys how awesome this guy is. This guy's super mellow. This is him. Well, him or her. I'm not able to sex him. I've never sexed him. I know you have to look for their hemipenes, but I don't really want to lose the trust I already have with him. He's super sweet. He just hangs out with me all the time. I pick him up all the time, and you can just see that he's not scared of me. You know, he's sometimes a little unsure or might get a little skittish, but he never bit or anything like that, and very willing to be picked up. And I got him from Colorado Reptile Company down in Denver, and they pretty much hand feed him all the time, work with him all the time, and it really shows. So it's actually cool to see him swimming now. So now that I see this, I might actually not, or probably won't, take down size. And if I do, it might just be a little bit. So what happens is, in these 75-gallon tanks, there's a divider up on top, and the tub is actually just a bit past where the divider ends. So the divider is right here, the tub pretty much comes up to here. I know right now it looks like it's over, but when you're picking it up, it warps, and yeah, it's really a pain in the butt to take out. So you either got to scoop out as much of the water as you can and then really work to get it out, and you end up spilling everywhere, and I got to sop it up. But so I might give him some a little smaller, just a bit then. I was going to get him some around halfway to make my life a lot easier, but if he's starting to chill in here now, that's probably not, I'm not going to want to take that away from him. Obviously, the water monitors, they like to hang out in the water. He just wasn't, so that's why I felt comfortable with it. But now that he seems to be happy in there, I'm gonna let him have something big, a big old tub. I don't fill it up super high. They really don't. They maybe an inch of water when they're this size. Actually, probably have about just past my second knuckle of water, so maybe about an inch and a half ish. But yeah, this guy's super awesome. Really curious to figure out what sex is. If anybody knows like a good way to actually sex him, I've heard of candle lighting ways, and I've heard of x-rays and stuff like that, and I do actually have personal access to x-ray, but I'd rather not x-ray him. But yeah, if anybody has any good methods that actually work well, I don't really want to do the thumb roll or pop him because I feel like I might lose trust with him if I do it wrong and end up hurting him. So, and you could just see he's just so mellow, and so far not eating a ton. He ate a bunch of chicken for me one day, but I got him this pretty much a week ago. But he's kind of shedding, so I know that he is shedding. I know that they don't eat as much when they're shedding, and obviously he's acclimating. So between the two of those, he's pretty much only eating chicken for me. He ate a bite of Tegu monitor food and a bite of raw diet. I haven't got him to eat any crickets. I was gonna throw him in there later probably, and see if he'd be interested in eating some crickets. So working with him, I spent time with him as much as possible. So that's my collection, guys. I hope you enjoy. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think, and let me know any other videos you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye.